First game of the week. Bengals go to Kansas City. We got Kansas City at a 6.5 favorite at the moment. Over-under is 54.5. I'm going to let you pick this one first. I'm going to kick it to you. Throw a curveball there. You're up, Kip.
Well, this is just the true definition of betting with your heart or betting with your brain here. At 6.5, I think, we talked about this before. It was at 7 in some areas. It was at 6.5 in others. So we like doing the half point because it's a lot easier to calculate for our dumb brains. So 6.5 for the Bengals. It seems a little disrespectful to me because they're the team of destiny, if y'all didn't know. But the 13 seconds thing, dude, it's like the Chiefs are the Chiefs. And so it's like, they're so explosive. And the last game that they played, the Bengals won. It was in Cincinnati, and that was a 30-plus game, on each side. So I'm riding with the Bengals, dude. I'm riding with them to cover. I'm taking the 6.5. I don't feel great about it by any means. And this, I promise you, this isn't like a bias against the Chiefs. I feel like I always say with all due respect in the beginning, because that's a respect thing. So, but no, I think the Bengals have already beaten them. I don't think they fear anyone. I think you look at the matchup with, with the Chiefs DBs against Jamar Chase, against T. Higgins, against, Boyd, even Uzoma, it's like, it's not a good matchup for them. I think they've been one of the only teams to really, be able to be in a shootout with the Chiefs, which they don't like. And also the other team that did that with them was the Bills. So I think they're kind of like the Buffalo Bills light. I think they're kind of the up and coming team, but I think they have a better running game with Mixon. And I think the Bills defense might be a little bit better, but still it's going to be a shootout. I'm just going to take the Bengals just strictly because team of destiny. I mean, I think taking 6 points to cover is fine. Obviously 6.5, you're going to take the 6. So I could see it being another exciting close game. The Chiefs are just scary. But I'm going Joey B. I'm riding with you. I'm riding with Jamar Chase. We're doing this thing. They ain't afraid of Air Hood. I don't care. Bengals.
I love it. Well, let me ask you then real quick. Who are you going to pick to win? Picking the Bengals to cover. Who do you think wins?
Bengals.
Think the Bengals win? Let's go.
No, I mean, okay. Like honestly, I think I think the Chiefs win, but I do think it's close. I think they can cover that spread. I just think the Chiefs are the better team. They're battle tested. They've been to the AFC Championship every year that Mahomes has been the starter. So there's that. But I just think this is a team that isn't going to flinch. I think they're going to go out there and compete. I do think the Chiefs win. I think the Bengals cover. And last time I said that the Bengals cover, but they don't win. They just ended up winning. So I'm going to go Bengals cover. Chiefs end up taking the W. So back over to you, Marv.
That's fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a half a point on who wins or loses, because I'm taking the Bengals to cover and to win. Let's go, baby.
Wait, so you're going to create a rule that only benefits you, or
it benefits you too? Because if the Chiefs win and the Bengals cover, you get a half point.
I think you're saying there's a half point if they cover and they're underdogs and win. No. I'm like, so this is really just for
no, because I'm picking the Bengals to cover as well, so that would be a wash if it happened.
Right.
So I'm putting a half a point on who wins the game, because I'm picking the Bengals to win.
I'm catching up now.
It's all good. They're too much of a team of destiny, and I know, eventually you kind of run into the favorites. You get to a point where you just can't outbeat Patrick Mahomes. But I think something about Joe Burrow, man, something about what Joey B's doing, and the whole team of destiny, talk and the vibe. I would love to be able to at least say that the Raiders lost to the Super Bowl champions when it comes to things, but I'm going to ride with them, man. I'm going to ride with them to cover, and there's a little bit of Chiefs biasness in there. I'll admit it.
I couldn't admit it. So.
But you've been a lot better at giving them props when props were due. But Bengals, I think the Bengals are going to go in. I think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl.
You hear what their kicker said?
when he was going up to kick the field goal.
Yeah.
When he takes one
Rookie
practice
kicker.
he
Yeah.
takes one practice swing with his leg, he's like, "Looks like we're going to the AFC Championship game."
Yeah. I'm like, that's a rookie, dude. These guys
There's
just
too
they're
much swag on this team, dude. There's too much going around. There's too much just, like, big dick energy is really what it comes down
well,
to.
they legit have nothing to lose. After they beat the Raiders, it was just they got the monkey off their back and they're like, fuck it. They're playing with house money at this point. So I love it. Okay, half point. That's going to be on the line. We're going to make it the same thing on the line here in this next game. So we have the San Francisco 49ers heading out to Los Angeles. Winner stays in Los Angeles because that's where the Super Bowl's at. So Niners heading into Los Angeles to play the LA Rams. As mentioned, they upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, defending champs, no more. The Rams are favored by 3.5 points. I think you look at it. Oh, sorry. Over under is 46. So a little bit different than that earlier game with the Bengals Chiefs, but Rams favored by 3.5, over under 46 points. Micah, what say you, sir?
Yeah, so this is a very interesting game, and mainly, like I mentioned earlier, the 49ers have just proved me wrong this whole time throughout the playoffs because I've projected them to lose each game so far that we've seen, and they have won every single game. So, but on the flip side of that, I have predicted the Rams to win every single week, and they have won every single week. So I'm gonna have to go with the Rams. I'm gonna have to stay with it. I'm gonna have to go with them to cover and to win. I think, like I said, it's Matt Stafford's year, man. It's him and Joe Burrow's year, respectively, on each side of the conference, right? Stafford is, finally showing what he could do when he has a good team to actually play with, a team that he could go to the playoffs with. I think you see a lot of their mistakes that they had in the game against Tampa Bay were just their own self-inflicted stupid fumbles, stupid issues that, if you clean up, they're absolutely blowing out the Bucks. Like they're going to continue, routing him, and they don't, let them have as good of a comeback as they did. So you could get into that situation. Jimmy Garoppolo is not Tom Brady. He's not going to be able to come back when you're up 27 to, you know, 10 at some point, or at that 21-3 range. Just don't see that happen. And I think that the Niners have been able to uh, play great defense. They played very good special teams, like we saw against Green Bay. When you block punts and take them back for touchdowns, that always helps you win games. I think Matt Stafford can go out there and continue to put up points on the board, and I do not think Jimmy Garoppolo can, stick with him in a shootout. And it'll be one thing if that Niners defense is able to go out there and, kind of limit Stafford. But if Stafford gets going, if him and Cup get going, him and OBJ get going, they can, have some semblance of a run game. Rams are a hard team to beat when they're on. The Niners don't have the type of offense that can compete in a shootout, mainly because I just don't think Jimmy G is that good. So, going with the Rams, cover and to win.
This game scares me, dude. Like, and it scares me for a lot of ways. And we dealt with this was it 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago with the Chiefs and the Niners playing the Super Bowl. It's a lose-lose for Raider fans, at least for me and you. But that's what we're at the risk of here. But the Niners kind of have the team of destiny, dude. Like that kind of sucks, Like it sucks because I don't want them to. And it also sucks because I really like a lot of their players and really hate some of their players. It's like, Jimmy G, shut up. It's like, you suck. Okay. You were like 11 for 27 for $1.15. They're like, oh yeah, F the Packers. We're going to the champ. It's like, no, Kyle Shanahan can play quarterback and do what you need to do. Like, gosh, he basically does for you. He's like Plankton and SpongeBob's head controlling you. That's basically what it is. If anyone likes SpongeBob, that's a reference. But I think the Rams are the better team talent-wise. I think the Niners have the team of destiny and the better coaching, just from my opinion. I think the Rams win, and I think the Niners cover. So I'm going to go Niners are going to cover. I think the Rams are going to win. I think they have more explosive weapons with a more talented quarterback in Matthew Stafford who can rip it all over field. He has his turnover issues as well. I think the big thing here, as of today, Trent Williams, he sat out of practice. He's dealing with an ankle injury. If he cannot go, basically, I would imagine Baja Men would be in the front row because they are going to let the dogs out with Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Leonard Floyd, so many different guys that are on that defensive line that jacked up Brady, that got to the house, got to the crib. They brought in Von Miller. They played him over the last couple games, in the regular season, limited snaps, because they just were like, you stay fresh for the playoffs. And that's where he is. So that's going to be tough sledding if Trent Williams can't go. I think regardless, it's going to be tough against that D-line. So they have a lot of weapons there. OBJ is coming into his own and has just been tearing it up with Stafford, getting on the same page. And Cooper Kupp is just Cooper Kupp. I think after the last couple of games, Cam Akers is finally getting into football shape. So he's getting more carries as they go. I think they're more talented on both sides. Niners scare me with the team of destiny vibes, and also just they find ways to win games. Shanahan finds ways to dial it up and to really scheme around. And they're also 2-0 against the Rams. They're not afraid of the Rams. The other thing is they're showing up into LA and saying, we beat you twice. You're in our division. But you want to know what, Micah? You know who else beat someone else 2 times? The Saints last year. They beat the Buccaneers, and everyone knows it's tough to beat a team 3 times. So we're going to see. I think the Rams win. I think the Niners cover. I just don't want them to go to the Super Bowl so bad, and it would just suck if they did. So it would just suck if they did. It would be a lot cooler if they didn't. So I'm going to go Rams win, Niners cover. 3.5, just really, if it was 3 or 2.5, I would have taken the Rams, but give me the half point. Rams win by a field goal. Third leg, Greg, we're on. So
that's perfect, because that gives us, one game that we have different. You got the Niners covering, I got the Rams covering, and then we got that half a point on that first game. So it's going to be an interesting week. And, at least go into this week knowing that one of us is going to be ahead of the other come next Tuesday when we record, or Tuesday or Wednesday when we record. So
yeah. No, it'll be fun. I mean, I think any NFL fan that doesn't have a dog in the fight here, you kind of just hope for the best Super Bowl matchup, so I think it would be, fascinating if it was Chiefs, Rams, Chiefs, Bengals, Bengals, Rams.
It cannot be Chiefs, Bengals in the Super Bowl.
Or I'm saying Chiefs, Rams, Bengals, Rams.
Oh,
yeah. Chiefs, Rams, or Bengals, Rams. I don't like
big hug, little kiss, little hug, little kiss.
Big hug, little side one-armed hug. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be fascinating regardless. For me I think I finally accepted Kansas City's dominance. Would love if they didn't win another Super Bowl, but I think the Niners, just them winning or getting into the Super Bowl would just bug me is all. Even though we have a lot of friends that are Niner fans, doesn't mean I don't care about them. I just care more about how much I hate the Niners. Right. So there's that. But that's it. It'll be a fun weekend regardless. Both games, by the way, I forgot to drum it up, but both games will be on Sunday. I believe the first game, Bengals Chiefs, is at 12 o'clock, and then the Niners Rams, 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. So set your calendars. DVR. I don't know if anyone has TiVo still, but you can set that as well.